Hello, I'm Robert Martinez, State Historian of New Mexico. I've been asked by the Museum of New Mexico History to talk about my 5 favorite history books about New Mexico. I have a lot of them. It's like asking somebody their favorite Beatles song. It's hard to decide, but I'm going to talk about 5 that come to mind. And the first one is a book by Fray Angelico Chavez, and it's called My Penitente Land. I got my first edition of this book when I was about 15 years old, and it really just affected me in a great way. It impacted me. It's history, it's poetry, it's religion, it's culture, and it's very opinionated. It doesn't have footnotes, but boy, Fray Angelico Chavez sure knew his stuff. And he really paints this romantic picture of Hispanic New Mexico, connecting our people and our land to those of the high Castilian plateau of Spain, and then back to Palestine. It's a must read. It's a lovely book, so I highly recommend that one. The next one is this, Origins of New Mexico Families by Fray Angelico Chavez. This is the Bible for New Mexico Hispanic genealogy. Again, he was the first to do it, and he has some great information here, the roots of all of our families. It's a beginning. He didn't have access to a lot of the records that later we would have in Mexico City. People like me and Stan Hordes and Jack Colligan and Jose Antonio Esquivel. We dig deeper beyond the origins of New Mexico families, as Jose dubbed it. But nevertheless, you have to have that book because it really just tells you who came here with Oñate in 1598 and then with Vargas in 1693 to 1695. Next up, I don't have the books because they're back in my office in Santa Fe, but I would have to say the multi-volume set of the Vargas journals. This is 6 volumes of original documents that have been transcribed, translated, published, and edited and annotated by John Kessel, Rick Hendricks, Meredith Dodge, and Larry Miller. It's a fantastic collection that really gives insight into what life was like in New Mexico from about 1690 to 1720. It's fantastic. 6 volumes. You have to get it. I was lucky. I got to work on the Vargas project in the mid-90s, and that's where I learned paleography, editing, how to do research. A fantastic experience. The next book I would recommend that I really love is New Mexico, an interpretive history by Mark Simmons. This is about 220 pages, and whenever somebody tells me, I don't know anything about New Mexico history, I want to learn New Mexico history, where shall I start? I always send them to that book because it's concise, it's short, it's interesting to read, and it really just lays out New Mexico's history from Pueblo times, Spanish times, Mexican times, territorial period, all the way up to statehood. So that is another favorite of mine. Finally, more recently, a book I've been digging into that I find really fascinating is this book by Andres Resendez. It's The Other Slavery. And this is a really interesting book about, Native American slavery in the United States. And particularly fascinating is the section on New Mexico's Genizaros from the 1700s and 1800s. These were non-Pueblo Indians. They were cautivos, captives, who were brought by other Indians. Indians would enslave other Indians, and they bring them to the Hispanic people, and then they would put them in servitude as servants. But it was another form of slavery, as the book suggests. And I highly recommend this one because we need to peel back the layers of books like My Penitente Land, which tell a beautiful history, but only part of the history. There are other sides to the story that need to be told. So there you go. Those are the books I'm looking at now or have looked at and still use. There are other wonderful history books out there by Robert Torres, by Mr. Nieto Phillips on New Mexico Hispanic identity and how it's evolved through the centuries. So please, whatever you do, go out and read New Mexico history. And while you're out there, check out my series, New Mexico History in 10 Minutes on YouTube, or my Facebook page, Rob Martinez. And also go to newmexicohistory.org online for our Office of the State Historian's website. Thank you very much. Hasta luego.